You want stars? I'll give you stars.
This is why people think I'm so weird.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we have another very special guest. I think she is an icon in the Resident Evil and gaming world. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh my gosh, after that intro, I don't even know. Yes, hi, I'm Nicole Tompkins, and it is such a pleasure to be here because Sophie and I have been trying to do this for a hot minute, so I'm so glad it's finally happening.
So today me and Nicole are going to be doing a few little segments, most Resident Evil related, and with some questions from you guys. So if you want to see that, then we'll just get straight into it. So we'll start with 60 seconds with Jill. I'm gonna set a timer for a minute and then I'll just tell you when it's at 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jill's life motto.
Always get back up.
Nice. Is Jill a good loser or a sore loser?
I think she thinks she's a good loser, but she's kind of a sore loser. Like it'll subtly pop out later. She'll just be a little bit annoyed.
Where would someone find Jill at a party?
Back to the wall, in a nice corner, letting people come to her.
Nice. 3 things Jill couldn't live without.
Her radio. Oh god, sorry. Her badge. And oh gosh, something cool. She's got so much music. She's got good music in her apartment. Music.
Jill's favorite holiday. 10 seconds.
Christmas!
Jill's nickname.
Not Jilly Bean, but that's what I would call her.
Bang on. There we go. Done.
You think this is over? I got through like 3 questions.
So in this segment, we're just going to swap Daniela and Jill's lines over. It's going to be great because they're all going to sound not how they should. I'm very excited.
Okay, let's do it.
So the first one is a Jill line, and this is going to be read as Daniela. The first one is a rocket launcher. Really?
How would you, all right, you go. A rocket launcher? Really? For me?
She makes everything sound so like, it's just so exciting, everything that she says. So the next one is, looks like I'm not the only one pissed with Umbrella.
Looks like I'm not the only one pissed with Umbrella.
I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
Ooh, I'm so glad. That's Daniela for you.
It's just the crossover that I didn't know I needed. So the next one is, so it's called The Nemesis?
So it's called The Nemesis?
She just sounds excited about everything. I love it.
Good old Danny.
The most iconic one. Well, one of the most iconic
Right.
ones. Bitch can't even swim.
Bitch can't even swim.
Why is everyone better than the other? You're just so talented, Nicole.
Oh my god, stop. No.
And then obviously the most iconic one. You want stars? I'll give you stars.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
That's the best one. That's the intro. That's the intro right there.
Yes.
And then this one I feel like could be a Danny line anyway. I'm knocking your ass down from there.
I'm knocking your ass down from there.
Well done. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
These ones are the ones that I think are just gonna sound
Ridiculous.
very strange.
Yeah, they sure are. I'm gonna do my best to make it make sense.
So these are obviously Daniela, read as Jill. So the first one is, stop that, I just want to eat you, that's all.
Oh god, how would Jill do this? Stop that! I just want to eat you, that's all!
I love it.
I guess she could also do like, stop that. I just want to eat you. That's all.
Just super like blasé,
Yeah.
super casual. So the next one is, so you finally came to see me, everyone falls for me in time.
So you finally came to see me. Everyone falls for me in time.
I think she'd say that to Carlos, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was envisioning.
Or to Nemesis.
Oh, you could do it straight to Nemesis. I can't help myself. This is so much fun. What if you did it to Nemesis, like actually, like when she's like he's a giant form? So, you finally came to see me. Everyone falls for me in time.
Oh my gosh, these are so good. You really want to kill me?
You really want to kill me?
Who could that be to? Nikolai?
Yeah, something like that.
This one's gonna sound so weird as Jill. I'm going to stuff you into a press and squeeze you out.
I don't even know what to do for her. Well, let's see. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna stuff you into a press and squeeze you out.
You just make it work. You just make it work. It's
You gotta
just
do it.
pure talent, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you want to play hide and seek?
So you want to play hide and seek. All right, let's do this.
They managed to seem like they could be in the game.
That's kind of my job.
Well, then, well done. You're in the right field. Well done.
Take words on page and make them make sense somehow.
Hey, kiss me?
I have no idea. Like, who would she ever say this to other than, like, Chris or Carlos? No, she would never say it to Carlos. Hey, kiss me?
I love that it sounds like a question. It's like, kiss me?
Or, like, I like the idea, like, a dramatic, it sounds like a fanfic, though. Like, a dramatic scene where, like, they just finished a thing and she's, like, hurt and he's sort of hurt. You know, the tension's been building and then there she is at the end. And she's like, hey, kiss me. You know, and she's like, finally, there's permission, and it's gonna happen.
That is such a fanfic moment, for sure.
That's as best as I can get, is like a good Jill fanfic moment.
Love that. That was so much fun. "60 seconds again. You've got to get your brain back on it again.
60 seconds with Daniela. Okay. Let me channel the Danny. I want blood and man things.
60 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 3 things Daniela couldn't live without.
Man things. Man thing blood. And honestly, her sisters.
Nice. Daniela's go-to karaoke song.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Is Daniela an early riser or a night owl?
Night owl. She's a vampire.
Obviously. What is Daniela's favourite movie quote?
Oh, favorite movie quote? Oh god, dang it. I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her.
Where would someone find Daniela at a party?
The center, the dance floor, on the table, hanging from the chandelier.
7 seconds. Is Daniela a cat or dog person?
A cat.
Just in time. It's so intense.
We did it. We've done well.
Fact or fiction? This is my favourite segment of any segment I ever do.
I feel like I might actually be terrible at this because fanfics nowadays are so good, and also some of the lines, especially like Danny's lines, are like so absurd. So I would be like, that's definitely not in the game, and then it like is, and I'm like, oh, okay, I said that.
Everything sounds like it could be in a fanfiction with Daniela, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the first one, you're so lucky that you're my type.
You're so lucky that you're my type. I think that's an actual line. I don't know if it made it in the game, but I think I said that.
That's fiction.
Dang it! Good. I feel like that's a great line, so good job, fanfic.
It is. See, you've got all the lines as well for the sign-in, so I feel like this would be so much easier for you.
I know. Yeah, the signings definitely helped me with this. But I mean, I already failed, so like...
That one was pretty close to an actual one, though.
I just felt like there was something that's very much like, just my type.
I think there is.
Yeah. That's why I was like, that's the line, right?
Don't worry, it's a secret from my sisters.
That one's real.
Yes. I saw you watching me.
I'm gonna go fiction?
No, that's in the game.
What? When?
I have no idea. You recorded it. It's somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. I'm really bad at this.
I'll grow even more beautiful. You'll see, just like mother.
That's a real one.
Yes. You're on a roll now. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
You're never leaving here.
She has something similar, but I don't think that's the line. I'm gonna go fiction, but I know she has something similar that she says.
Yeah, it's fiction.
Yes!
See, you're on a roll now. You're on it. Have you met Baylor? She's the smart one.
That's a real line.
Yes. The maidens were such easy playthings.
I'm gonna go that has to be fiction because we didn't have enough maiden lore and all the fans made maiden lore.
Yeah, it's fiction.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
So you're so good at this. I knew you would be.
No, I'm not. I got 2 wrong.
It's all snow out there. I just hate it.
I'm gonna go fiction. We did a lot of cold lines, but I didn't think we like directly referenced snow. Am I wrong?
That was fact.
That was a real one? Dang it. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was some that we did about just like hating outside and lots of like, I'm cold.
You did record this a long time ago, though.
Yes, correct. Amongst hundreds of lines.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have so much fun.
Dang it. I want to say that that's a real one, but I feel like that'd be a really good fanfic line too.
It's fiction.
Dang it. Peonies are hard though, because like all of them are these little like flirtatious one-liners. So if you just like throw a random one-liner out, I'm like, yeah, she probably said that. Mm-hmm.
Do be careful of the house, please.
Fiction.
Oh, that's fact.
Fact? I'm lost. You lost me. It's not in the game though, is it?
No, it's cut. It's cut.
There was so many cut lines. That's the other thing. So like, I just haven't heard them.
I want to keep you.
I want to say it's real, but now I'm questioning everything.
You going for real?
Is it fiction?
It's fiction.
Gosh dang it, you guys are good. Okay, yeah, I said real, so it's fiction. Amazing. Nailing this. Feeling great. Feeling super good about it.
You were on a roll for 4 of them and then it just...
I know, and now I'm just really taking a nosedive.
My sisters are terrible. They never have time to play.
I think that's real.
That is real.
Gonna do this with confidence.
There's only 2 more. I believe in you.
I believe in miracles.
Mother loves me the most.
Real.
Yes! That's it. You're gonna do it, Nicole. Oh, this one's cute. Can we keep him?
Fiction.
Ending strong. Ending strong. That one is fiction.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I got like a 50% score on that. We will see.
It was the snow when it threw you off.
It really lost me for like 4 of them. I was like, maybe.
You got 8 out of 14.
Yeah, just over half.
I think that was great.
Ooh, I feel good. I feel great about it. Mm-hmm.
So I've had quite a lot of people write in.
Oh, great.
I've tried to ask for questions that are a bit different, but because you stream, I think you've probably answered every question in the world ever. Twice.
Maybe, but I'm so game. Let's do it.
So the first one is, which village character would you team up with in an apocalyptic situation?
Oh, that's a great question. So if me, Nicole, was in an apocalypse, which character would I team up with? Legitimately, he's annoying as all get out, but I feel like Heisenberg would be really helpful in an apocalyptic situation. He could make me a metal house that we could just like chill in, you know? So just like power-wise alone, I feel like Unky Heisey might have to be the choice.
I think that's a good choice, yeah. He'd probably annoy you.
Yeah, no, I mean, no question about it.
You could put her with it for survival.
For survival purposes, I'm like, I think Unky Heisey has got it because, you know, the others just have such needs.
This one's from Angela. If you had to voice a character from Village who isn't part of House Dimitrescu, who would it be?
Donna. No, I'm kidding.
Just got like one line.
Doesn't say anything. A character that's not from House Dimitrescu, who would it be? I mean, is it weird to go Heisenberg? Sorry, Neil. I'm kicking you out of your job because I think I could really bring something special to Heisenberg.
I think you've got a little soft spot for Heisenberg, Nicole.
I think I might. I definitely do. Well, I mean, I joked that, you know, I could have been Lady Morel, but it's just like that is such a vocally strenuous part. So I was like, no. And Heisenberg is such a memeable character. I just feel like it would be very funny. Bring some metal to my date.
The next one's from someone you might know. I think you know her, I'm not sure. Maggie Robertson asked.
Oh my god. Hey, Maggie.
Maggie Robertson asked, who's your favourite person in the world? Hint, she's tall, blonde and gangly.
Miggy Robertson. Miggy. It is Miggy. Mags. Definitely Maggie. That's the only tall person that I know.
There you go, Maggie. There's your question answered.
Wait, is Maggie tall?
I don't know. I think she's mentioned that she might be, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
This one's from Eleanor. Have you heard any theories about Village DLC? And if so, which has been your favourite?
I've heard lots of theories from all sorts of fans, and the amount of creativity that people have is unbelievable. I think some of them are so funny. I personally love the ones that are like super outlandish that you just know are probably never gonna happen. But those are really enjoyable to me because it's just people like going off. I think someone was like, just like an entire, you know, like sitcom sort of series of the family. I was like, it's never gonna happen, and that sounds amazing. I love it. That sounds great. But yeah, as far as what they're gonna do, I have zero idea.
This one's from Dreams, great name. When you were offered the role of Jill in the Nemesis remake, did you feel any pressure to live up to the previous actress who played her, and did you draw any inspiration from the original?
I did not actually feel, I think, that much pressure to try and live up to previous performances because I got hired based on what I brought in, and I trusted the people that were making the decisions about what they wanted in this iteration. I did, however, want to respect the previous iterations and massively respect that this character means so much to so many people and also means something different to everyone. So I just kind of more focused on like what's on the page and what's happening between the artists around me and the people that were there. I really tried to be more present with it because ultimately, like, that's what Jill's doing. She's just responding to what's happening in her environment as she goes with the context of, hey, hey, this is Jill after traumatic events. Like, this is PTSD Jill. This is Jill in a really uncool situation. This is Jill growing up. Like, she's not just the Jill that walked into the mansion incident. So, like, I was definitely aware that this is, you know, a more hardened Jill Valentine. And we also wanted to bring kind of some of that sarcasm and humor to her, because there is a little bit of cynicism in what's happening. As hopeful as she is and as idealistic as some of her beliefs are, there still was, you know, some cynicism on like what's going on. And so letting that come out as kind of humor and finding moments to just be like, yeah, okay, as an energy, I think was really fun and just like gave a new flavor that I think worked for what they were trying to make in this remake iteration. I'm proud of it, and I was really, really honored, honestly, to get to be part of it in any capacity and to be trusted with such an iconic character. And I'm so grateful to the fan base for being so supportive and welcoming and warm, because everyone expects something different, you know, from this character who's lived on for so many years now. There's so many different iterations, and I feel honored that people just sort of embraced this kind of version of her, and I hoped to do justice to kind of where she came from. And yeah, I felt supported by the people around me. I trusted the people around me because they also were huge fans of Resident Evil. The people that make these games are fans of the games. Like, they want to be there. So I knew that I was around people that weren't gonna let me do something that felt not realistic to who she is and how she was being shown and written in this version of the game.
I think you did an amazing job. I played the original Nemesis when it came out, so 1999 it was.
I was like, Oz, you do not look old enough to have played the original Nemesis. And
yeah, I was 4. It was great.
When I eventually play it, because I will get pressured into doing it at some point, I'm gonna be like, every time I come across the puzzle and I'm pulling my hair out, I'm gonna be like, Sophie did this when she was 4, Nicole. Sophie played this when she was 4. I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, just have that in the back of your mind. The next one is from Quinlan. What is the weirdest acting exercise you've had to do?
Quinlan, weirdest acting exercise I've had to do. There was this great exercise that's like very painful for a lot of people and very fun for others, where your job was to go on stage, and it's kind of like part of clowning, honestly. Like, a clown class is, I think, where it sort of originated from. I wasn't in a clown class at the time, but the teachers just thought this was like a great idea. And your job is to go on stage and make people laugh. You have to stay up there until the audience, not one person, the entire audience laughs. And I can't remember, but I don't think you can speak. I think it's all about physicality. I could be wrong, but I think it was all about physicality. Maybe there was language, so like you could encourage people if they wanted to do stand-up or something. But like, you couldn't come off the stage until you'd made the entire audience laugh. And so for some people, that's like really painful, and they'd be up there for like literally 15 to 20 minutes until finally they would do something. And it really taught you a lot about what causes people to laugh, because like the person stayed up there for 20 minutes just being like, I'm not funny, I do drama, like I'm not funny, I'm not interested in being funny, I'm not funny, I'm not funny, I'm not funny, I'm not funny, eventually would do something that, because they were so desperate to get off the stage, was hilarious because the irony of the situation. So like, it sounds like the most painful exercise ever, but it was really fascinating. But I think that's probably one of the weirdest ones that I did.
That sounds scary. Sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But you're doing it with people that support you and love you, and so it's not intended to be traumatic. It is intended to be challenging. But I think that's probably one of them. And then otherwise, like, animal work is always really weird. You know, when you talk about like weird exercises, you see it in like Alexander technique stuff. Anytime you're being an animal of some kind, it is always strange, but can be very freeing, and is a way in which a lot of people actually work, depending on the character. Sometimes it calls for it.
There you go. I don't think I could do the making people laugh one. That'd scare me so much.
Sophie, you could get up there and be a lion, though. Your job is to be a lion. Get on the stage and be a lion. That is what you're gonna do. I don't want to see Sophie, I want to see a lion.
What is your favorite trip or adventure you've been on?
Ooh, admittedly, honestly, going to Tokyo as many times as I've been now through the Resident Evil stuff and getting to travel to Japan is one of my favorite things I've ever done. Getting to spend any amount of time in Japan, I highly recommend it, especially if you're not from there or you're from a lot farther away like I am. It's just such a beautiful, unique, different experience, and there's so many wonderful things there, including food and cuisine, but the people and the sights, just really, really special. Also, we're a fan of cherry blossom trees, so...
The next one's from Hayden. Do you have a routine you do before you start a recording session?
Ooh, such a good question, Hayden. I do. I try to kind of, before I go to work, make sure that I've just done things to take care of myself. Being hydrated is really big for me, and you have to start that before the night before, but if you're dehydrated, you can legitimately have like more mouth clicks and more sounds in your voice that are a lot harder to control or get rid of. So that's one of the things that I'm like, that's not something I can physically fix on the day if I'm super dehydrated. We have fires and stuff in LA. I've done a couple sessions when there was a ton of smoke in the air, and like the booth director and me were all just looking at each other like, all right, we're gonna make it. But like the dehydration level and the smoke and all this stuff really influences that. So I always try to be super hydrated, and then I do vocal warm-ups, just waking up that voice, especially if you're gonna have a vocally strenuous or a long session.
I can imagine like Daniela was probably quite a strenuous session with all the screaming.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like Jill had a lot more effort because it's your like player character, but Daniela definitely has quite a lot of death sounds, which is probably the most strenuous part of any role, is recording their deaths and their efforts.
The next one's from Toro. How is the auditioning process for motion capture different to traditional acting?
Good question. It's not that different, if I'm honest, especially because a voiceover process is a little bit different because it's all MP3, but motion capture, you're pretty well auditioning like you would for a film or a TV series or anything in between, because it's a full body, full performance experience. It's just animated in a different way once the final product comes out. But as far as like what we're actually doing on the stage, like we're making a movie, essentially. We're just in really silly mocap suits, so it looks better once they've animated. But the actual performances themselves are really similar to kind of a theater performance or a film performance. Sometimes audition processes for games can start with just voiceover, but usually if they're looking for a mocap and voice actor, they'll do a full kind of audition experience. That's mostly what I've done for the mocap stuff, is I will create a whole taped audition just like I do for my film and TV auditions, and send in a full tape with a reader just like I would, and then callback process. Oftentimes they'll do chemistry reads and they'll bring in other actors, and you'll do it just like any other thing. I think the only maybe difference is there's just a little bit more physicality than perhaps a film audition. You spend more time actually moving in the space, which is a bit more similar to theater.
So when you go for an audition that's a video game, do you know that it's a video game, or can sometimes you not even be aware until you get the part?
No, we usually know it's a video game. So like it'll say it's a game. And so maybe that'll change like slightly what you do, but I really don't think so. I think because video games are leaning so much more towards strong narrative and strong story and strong cinematics, I think that if you just go in there with the most honest version of that thing, even if it's super, hyper realistic, even if it's, village level characters, if you can go in with an honest version of that, I think it gets you a lot further in an audition process, because we want to watch people do things really well, and we have higher standards for performances in games these days than even in the past. More and more we like expect really, really good performances that I could even see on camera or, on the stage. I feel that way in general. I want to make sure that like if you look at the raw mocap footage, like that footage itself is a full story. So then the animators get to go in there and play and have something awesome to play with and create the insanity that you eventually see, because it's such a community process. And I think that's something I love about games. There's just so many people involved in what the final thing looks like. You don't really get attached to like your thing. It's very much an our experience. And I love that. It takes ego out of it. It really lets people come together and just trust the other artists around them. And that's a good place to be.
To be fair though, games now, they are just like full-fledged movies at this point.
They totally are. I love it, obviously, but I'm coming from the performance perspective where I just think that's really, really fun.
Your situation is quite unique as well, because obviously you make the games, but then obviously you play so many games as well, so you get to appreciate it from both sides, which I think's a really unique place to be in.
Totally. And I mean, a lot of games still have like a massive aspect of heightened reality, but I love that. I think heightened reality is really fun because it creates a flavor where you get to explore kind of layers and depths of our own human experience with just more, I guess, story pieces that allow you to kind of look at it from different angles. And that's one of the benefits of kind of a fantasy or anything that's a little bit less than real, is you get to explore more in so many unique and interesting ways.
I love that we've just spent so long just talking about that. I love it.
Yeah, just that.
The next one's from Jessie.
Jessie the Messy?
I think it might be Jessie the Bessie. I'll have to double check. What do you do if you have days where you have no motivation or it's difficult to get out of bed?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think that's really obviously a very personal experience. So I'm not sure what I'm going to say is right for everyone. But for me, I think the no energy days, I tend to work hard and work long. So I work really hard I work really hard. I work harder. No, I work diligently. We're going to say it like that, to be extra patient with myself on those days and just let myself be a little bit. I think sometimes we get in our own ways. And so for me specifically on a low energy day or low motivation day, sometimes I say, you know what, this is my body telling me you need to slow down. You need to take a break. You need to do something new or different or expect something less of you. If that happens on a day where like I need to be doing things and I can't, take that time, though usually a belief that you can't is always just a belief and not actually true. But if there's like something clearly happening that day, then I go back to the basics. You gotta take care of yourself. Hydrate, eat well, exercise, just get up and do the basics so that you give yourself the best chance to move forward with energy. So take care of yourself. Be nice to who you are. We're our greatest critics. I mean, that's always it. You think people are mean to each other, but they're so much meaner to themselves. And I think it starts with learning to be kind to yourself, because then you have that kindness to extend to other people.
No, I agree for sure. I work from home, but my office is basically just in my bedroom because I'm in such a small space. So it's so hard to find that time where the workday ends and your personal time starts.
Yes, life. Totally get that.
But it's good to like get out of that space and just completely change your surroundings for a little bit. I think that helps so much, especially when you're feeling really unmotivated.
I think changing space is super big because we get super single focused and we start to believe that our current environment is reality. So just finding ways to shift your reality. It's one of the things that makes us really cool as humans we get to literally choose our reality. You can choose to see something else because we are constantly in a subjective experience. So because that's the case, choosing different lenses of subjectivity, I think, is one of our beautiful powers as creative beings.
So this one is from Anais. As we can tell from the streams, you love to sing, but if you could choose only one song to describe yourself or your life, what would it be? It's a hard question.
One song to describe myself or my life. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'd like that to be a life motto. I feel like that's a good place to be. Yeah, that's an unfair question and I refuse to pick favorites, but today my theme song can be Hakuna Matata. On another day it's something else because I reserve that right as an individual to change every day. Don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time and having a ball. That's my theme song on another day, maybe even today. Wow. A theme song by the hour. You guys wanted one?
It's funny as well because when I was writing these questions, I think I was watching one of your like older streams. I can't remember which one it was. It was something Resident Evil related anyway. And you said in it, you were like, I absolutely hate favorites questions. And I was like, oh no.
Oops. Here comes 7 favorites question.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, how can I reword this?
Well, it's funny because like favorites questions, like I still like asking them of other people. I'm not actually, like I don't love them because I'm like, don't tie me down. But at the same time, I'm like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite cloud type? Do you have a favorite dinosaur? What is your favorite musical number?
This is a really random one. So this is from like an entire Discord server. I got invited to a Resident Evil Discord server and I just sort of sit there and lurk. And then they were all explaining to me about how inside jokes get made into emotes.
Yeah, where is this going, Sophie?
There was a girl called Marion and she was typing, but she was doing something else. And she typed your name with an L instead of a K. So it was Nicole. And now every time you join this server, there is just an emote of you with your face on a Coke bottle. They just wanted to know how it felt to be a soda and new merch, ?
I mean, being a soda really, I refuse to peak there. This is only the beginning. That's all I have to say to that. This is only the beginning. I think I saw this emote on Twitter and I spent probably more minutes than I needed to consciously in my brain being like, well, wouldn't Nicola be better? Like, Coca-Cola. And I went through the process of being like, Nicola, Nicoke, Coca-Nicola. And I spent about 5 minutes just tweaking a little bit. But I ultimately decided, I think they did a great job and I love that for them. And I'm happy to be a soda. Although I personally do not drink a lot of soda.
Me neither. I'm all about that iced tea.
Yes.
Peach and lavender iced tea.
Peach and lavender. Wow. Mine's green tea and it is now lukewarm.
I have iced everything. It's my fave. It's so hot as well in the UK today. I'm so excited because it's nearly spooky season. It was like 26 degrees today.
I don't know how hot that is, but it sounds really hot.
It won't be hot to you. You'll be like, 26 degrees, what is that? But we don't have aircon, so I will argue my point that we don't have aircon.
Yeah. No, the one time I've been to London, which I get to go again soon, I'm excited. But the one time that I've been to the UK, and actually we did more than London, it was record-breaking heat wave a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember when that happened, but like it was my only time there, and it was, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it was literally 98 degrees Fahrenheit for almost just between 87 and 98 the entire trip. And I was like, I thought you guys said it was cold and rainy. You lied. It's really hot. I'm from places that are hot, so it's fine. It's just that we got to the UK and there's no air conditioning anywhere. And I was like, it's 98 degrees out. What are you guys doing over here? You're just choosing to melt? There are other options. You don't have to live this way, was how I found.
Marion said, I'm not very familiar with many American musicals. Do you have any favorites you'd recommend?
American musicals? I honestly could not tell you what is an American musical and what is not, because I'm sure writers are from all over.
I'm assuming she means like Broadway, maybe?
Yeah, so because like a lot of good musicals start in the West End even, and all over, so I don't want to claim anything for America. I am not planting any flags, but I will give you some musicals that I love, some of the classics, definitely not American. Les Mis, love Les Mis. Dear Evan Hansen was one that came out recently. The music is really, really good, past couple of years. Hadestown, I just absolutely love it. Anais Mitchell wrote a folk opera. I guess that one kind of has an American context and vibe. So Hadestown is so good, and you can totally listen to and enjoy the entire musical just listening to it, even if you wanted to just listen to the soundtrack. Love Hadestown. Obviously Hamilton, very American. Okay, fine. I can think of a couple Americans. I'll plant a flag. Hamilton and Hadestown are two that I absolutely love, and those are recent musicals. So, I mean, just dig in. There's lots of really good modern musicals. We've also had some really good fun movie musicals with good soundtracks. And even if you're like, I don't like the movie, if you just listen to the music, sometimes the music is just really, really enjoyable.
This one's from Teeny. Do you think you and Daniela would get on and be friends?
I think Daniela would be a little bit much for me. After a while, if I'm honest, I think I would need my alone time. I could not be Daniela's roommate. I'd be like, I love you so much, and you have a lot that you need to work through, and you probably never will, so just like go do it over there. I'm gonna need some space. But I think we could find ways in which we could enjoy each other's company.
I think she would be a bit much so. She's just too excited about everything.
It's just a lot happening.
Ow, so mean.
This one's from Ali. Are there any actors you would love to work with?
So many. Oh my god, don't. I'm a fan of a bunch of British actors. I really love Benedict Cumberbatch and Eddie Redmayne and Cate Blanchett and Keira Knightley. And I love Michelle Williams as well. She's so good in everything that I see her in. Yeah, like infinite numbers. But honestly, you have to think about like doing this work. The best part of it is really the people that you're with, whether that's on-camera talent or off-camera talent, behind the scenes, post-production, whatever. The people that you're working with make all the difference in a project, because they make or break what that thing is going to look like and how you experience it. So really just the diversity of people. I think there's tons of actors that I don't even know yet, I don't even know about, that will end up being like the most impactful person that I've worked with. And that's something that I love about this career, is just constantly shifting and changing and meeting new people.
It's like one big family in it, no matter what production you're on, I imagine.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, I think people get lots of tastes of it, honestly, in any work environment, but theater especially, like co-workers and stuff. You do plays and stuff, even in school and whatnot, and you just get really close to your castmates. And I think the same happens on sets and in all sorts of artistic projects.
Now that you've completed Village, which part of the game would you say you enjoyed the most?
I mean, would I be like biased if I said the castle? Obviously, I think I might be biased, but yeah, no, probably the castle. But that's just because it was really, really fun. What else did I love in Village though? I loved a lot. I actually really like Salvador's section.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really, really fun. And it was really hard for me. That boss fight was really hard.
The levers were hard for me when you've got to do all the platforms. I was just like, no, this is too puzzly for me. This is from Tori. How physically and mentally challenging was it to play Daniela, Elena, and Jill? Also, could you say, Mother, I have a jar of dirt in Daniela's voice?
I think that's from Pirates of the Caribbean, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know the context.
Good job, Dad. Physically demanding. Probably Jill was the most, just because she has a lot of action and there was just a lot more sort of to do. But Daniela gets a piece of that because we did all of them in heels. So mocap heels on a mocap stage for 8 hours a day. That's a thing. So yeah, heels is a lot. And then Elena was probably maybe the more like emotionally challenged because her whole arc happens so quickly and it's all full of tragedy the whole time. So there was just lots of sad things to do and process as her, and also try to get the audience on her side despite the decisions that she makes that ultimately lead to her demise was challenging because you want people to care as quickly as possible, and she has a very fast arc. So I think that was one of the challenges of her.
And then it's the could you say mother I have a jar of dirt in Daniela's voice.
Mother, I've got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it? Your lipstick.
I'm so glad you knew the context.
That got a little bit anime, but I'm sticking with it.
No, I loved it. That was great. I'm sure she will love it. This is from Becca. Do you have any tips on taking care of plants?
Becca! I find that taking care of plants is kind of an intuitive process. You know, you just gotta kind of look at the plant, and sometimes a plant just wants to die, and you're like, babe, we could be friends, or we could not. And sometimes the plant chooses that. But I would say just do research on the specific types of plants, and then watch the plant, because the plant really does kind of respond and look different and change based on its environment and circumstances. It's a living thing, and it's very cool to watch it kind of react to its environment. So plant tips include, you know, water, light, and soil, kind of the standards. I had someone recommend using a chopstick where you put a wooden chopstick in a plant, and that shows you how moist the soil is while you're learning how much the plant needs to be watered. And you can like see when the chopstick gets dry, and you don't leave it in there forever, but just while you're training yourself. That was more information than you wanted, but there's my tip.
No, that's good. That's exactly what they wanted.
I stole that from Jay. Thanks, Jay.
Right, 6 seconds with Nicole. This one you're going to be amazing at because it's about you. 3, 2, 1. Your life motto.
Ooh, changes often, but right now I think it's be patient and be kind to yourself and others.
3 things you couldn't live without.
The blanket that I sleep with that keeps everything cool and nice. Oh, love it. Maybe Ritz crackers because they're in front of me, and also tea.
What activity instantly calms you?
Meditating, journaling, relaxing outside on the porch. Okay, sorry, go.
Go-to coffee order.
Go-to coffee order? Usually tea, like I'll get a green tea latte, like a matcha tea latte with oat milk.
Cats or dogs? Oh, sorry, cats or dogs?
Right now, cats. That's because I'm obsessed with my cat. It's fine.
Favorite holiday?
I'm gonna go Christmas or Groundhog's Day because it's also my birthday.
Pet peeves?
Oh, do you know the texture that changes when you like look at it from different angles? If you scratch that, can't stand it. Makes me goosebump.
Favorite movie quote? 2 seconds.
Anybody got a peanut?
Bang on, like just as it ended.
I want to know what the record is of people that you've interviewed. Like, how many do people usually get through?
You did better than Maggie, so I'll say that.
Take that, Meg.
So Nicole, thank you for joining me today. This was really fun. I'm so glad it finally happened.
I am too. The pleasure is all mine. Sophie Orchard, Sophie Orchard.
So is there anything that you want to promote? And I will put that obviously in the link below and on the screen.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to follow what I'm up to, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Nicole Tompkins. That's usually where I also announce new projects and new roles and anything that I previously couldn't talk about, but then will later be able to talk about once it releases or announces. So that's where you can keep up to date with that sort of stuff. Also film and TV and some other stuff I'm up to. And then I've also been streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Nicole Tompkins, playing games and hanging out with amazing people. I started doing that during the quarantine, and I've continued to do it because it's been such a joyful part of my week. So I really enjoy kind of working it into my schedule and life in a fun way. It's really relaxing in some ways. So come say hi and hang out. I'm also on Streamily, and I'll have like personalized videos. We occasionally do live signings, that sort of stuff. If you want to autograph, if not, I hope to someday see you at a con or something like that. So
I'll leave all of that in the description below, and make sure you go check Nicole out. Her Twitch is really fun. I'm there all the time.
Yes, it's the best. I was like, Sophie!
So yeah, make sure to go and check all of that out. Nicole, thank you so much for joining me.
Sophie, this has been a pleasure. I knew it would be. And thanks everyone for watching.